second grade friends. I hope everybody had a wonderful day yesterday. If you remember in reading, we started talking about characters in a book and that we can tell a lot about the character by what they do in the book, what they say, the way they react. And today we're going to continue talking about that. We're going to continue with our book, Mercy Watson to the Rescue. Today what I want you to think about is how does a character respond to trouble in their book or in their story. So we do this in life every day, right? The way that we ourselves react to problems or trouble around us kind of says a lot about who we are as people. And it does the same in a book. So when we read and we learn about the character and we see how that character has a problem and they respond to it, it tells us a lot about the character themselves. So let's continue reading today, Mercy Watson to the Rescue. And we're going to be reading chapter 2 today. Now you remember yesterday she got a little scared and ended up going and getting in her mama and daddy's bed. So this is chapter 2. Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson and Mercy were all in bed together. They were all dreaming. Mr. Watson was dreaming of driving a very fast car. Vroom, said Mr. Watson in his sleep. Vroom, vroom. Mrs. Watson was dreaming of buttering hot toast for Mercy. She buttered one piece and then another and then another. Sounds like a good mama, doesn't she? Have some more, dear, Mrs. Watson said in her sleep. Eat up. Yum, yum. Mercy was dreaming about hot buttered toast too. In Mercy's dream, hot buttered toast was piled high on her favorite blue plate, and Mrs. Watson was buttering still more. It was an excellent dream. Mr. Watson said, vroom, vroom. Mrs. Watson said, have some more, dear. Mercy snuffled and chewed in her sleep. Mr. and Mrs. Watson and Mercy were all busy sleeping that they did not hear the bed creak. They were all so busy dreaming that they did not hear the floor moan. Uh-oh. Can you guess what's going to happen? Chapter 3. Boom! A hole opened up under the Watsons' bed. Crack! The Watsons' bed fell through the hole. Mr. Watson woke up. Mrs. Watson woke up. Mercy woke up too. What? Said Mr. Watson. Uh-oh. Oink! Said Mercy. It's an earthquake, shouted Mrs. Watson. It's the end of the world. Nonsense, said Mr. Watson. But he did not sound very sure. Now let's stop right there. How do you think, what can we tell about Mrs. Watson? She said, it's the end of the world. How does she handle problems? Does she kind of get upset all of a sudden? Right? And now Mr. Watson says, nonsense. How do you think Mr. Watson handles problems? He sounds kind of calm and cool, doesn't he? He sounded frightened. Mercy, however, was not frightened. Mercy was hungry. Oink, said Mercy again. She moved to the end of the bed. Boom! Crack! The bed fell a little farther into the hole in the floor. Don't move, shouted Mr. Watson. Whatever you do, don't move. Mr. and Mrs. Watson and Mercy held very still. Mrs. Watson started to cry. I know exactly what to do, said Mr. Watson. We must call the fire department. They will rescue us. But you said we should not move, said Mrs. Watson. How can we call the fire department if we can't move? Mercy recalled her lovely toast-filled dream. She wondered if there was any toast in the kitchen. While Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson were arguing, Mercy hopped off the bed. boom, crack. Look, said Mrs. Watson, Mercy has escaped. She's going to find help, said Mr. Watson. She's going to alert the fire department. Mercy left the bedroom at a gallop. She was in a hurry. She was out on her way to the kitchen. She was looking for some toast. It seems to me that Mercy is more concerned with eating more than anything else that is going on, even falling through their bedroom floor. So this tells me that I can expect that maybe in all of the chapters that we're going to be reading later, that Mercy is probably going to be eating, and that's going to take precedence over anything else. Please read today, and as you're reading, try to find places in your story where you can think, I know what I can expect from the character in the future by the way that they are handling a problem in the story. Keep reading, friends.